Carly Fiorina said it best when she said, just because we are anti-abortion doesn't make us anti-woman. Should be a no-brainer, right? Well, it's not to feminists. These lovely ladies of the left would have you believe that if you disagree with any liberal agenda in regards to women, then by golly, you're a Neanderthal and a misogynist. Fortunately, I'm here to tell you how wrong that is. Truly believing in equal rights for women, for all people, doesn't mean you must align yourself with liberal feminists who claim to support women's choices but only actually support women's choices when the choices are the same choices the liberal feminists want you to make. Joining me now to discuss feminists, to discuss men, and to discuss the big, big difference between a culture of equal rights and a culture of so-called women's choice offered by liberals is retired Army Colonel, trial lawyer, and conservative commentary writer, Kurt Schlichter. Kurt, great to have you here today.
Great to be here. Thank you.
First of all, this whole idea that if you're not pro-abortion, if you're not liberal, then you must be anti-woman, when did this take hold of our culture?
Well, you know, I'm old enough to probably remember, but it actually goes past long before me. I think the problem is that a lot of so-called feminists are leftists first and pro-women second. You know, when you're somebody like me who grew up with a mother who was a judge and who worked for women in combat zones and led women in combat zones, and who works in a profession where, in fact, the majority of law school graduates are women now, you know, I don't feel I have to make to prove anything. But, you know, a lot of liberals seem to think that you do. That unless you go down their path, that you're somehow anti-woman. The fact is, I can't think of anything more anti-woman than that. What's more anti-woman than telling someone what their choices have to be?
Right. It's completely hypocritical. They claim to be, their entire platform to be for the choice of women to do exactly what we want in the world. But anytime a woman chooses anything other than what they think aligns with their liberal agenda, we're suddenly the ones that are women hating, even women ourselves. I've been told that before. Now, in your opinion, are feminists trying to completely eliminate traditional men from our culture by doing this?
Well, I think, you know, to the extent they want to eliminate traditional men, it's really that they want to eliminate any alternative to the leftist paradigm that they push. And a leftist paradigm disempowers everybody. You know, what you talk about is disempowering women. But when they attack men being, you know, traditional men, they're trying to disempower men. They don't care about gender. They don't care about whether you're a man or a woman. These are all lies. Lies used to support their leftist agenda because they want us quiet and they want us complacent. And if calling you a sexist is going to do it, or attacking your traditional manhood, or even your alternative manhood, they'll do it because it has nothing to do with gender. It's all about a liberal agenda.
Right. And you talk about gender discrimination, what they deem to be gender discrimination. But don't you think it's hypocritical in the sense that their platform is the fact that they don't want people to be anti-woman, but then their agenda is pretty much anti-man?
Well, I think you're right. But, you know, you look at them and you look at real abuse of women around the world. You know, here we're concerned about microaggressions and somebody looks at you wrong. Overseas, you've got people having acid thrown in their face for wanting to go to school, but they don't care, because if they were real and honest and genuine about wanting to support women, they'd support conservatives. I'm a guy who went overseas. I served with many other Americans, including many women, to protect the rights of all people, including women. That's where the you know, rubber meets the road. That's putting the money where your mouth is. All they do is talk and talk and talk and talk and yak and whine and complain. It's like they're just the worst. They don't really care. It's all about political advantage.
It is. It is. Like you said, I think you said it the best at the very beginning when you said that they're liberals first, feminists second. The feminists are just the medium to advance their political agenda, their leftist political agenda.
It was quite a week for the orange chic. First, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand demanded that Donald Trump resign over past harassment allegations. Yes, she's quite the defender of women. I think we have tape of her condemning Ted Kennedy. Roll it. I guess not. But maybe Ted was a real gentleman after all, when he wasn't driving women off bridges. And now she thinks Bill Clinton should resign 20 years later. How convenient. Maybe say something when you could still get it up. And great job standing up to Harvey all those years. Now, I'm merely pointing out the obvious. It's political when they hopscotch their targets. Ted Kennedy, skip. Clarence Thomas, land. Bill Clinton, skip. Donald Trump, land. You sense a pattern here? Anyway, Trump responded to Gillibrand, tweeting that she'd come begging for campaign funds and that she'd do anything for them. And that set off the familiar flesh-based car alarms. Senator Warren accused Trump of slut-shaming, which is weird because he said the same thing to men, Cruz and Romney. Trump's an equal opportunity trash talker. Sounds like Liz is calling the senator a slut, not Trump. If I were Native American, I'd be very disappointed in her. But it didn't stop there. Here's Morning Woe.
Here he is suggesting that Kirsten Gillibrand would do anything.
Let's just say it. He's suggesting that Kirsten Gillibrand would have sex with him in order to get campaign contributions.
Right.
The president actually tweeted that this morning.
Let's just say it. Oh, she's such a crusader for women. Well, just some women.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I feel sorry for you. I've started a hashtag support for Sarah, and get your mind out of the gutter. I seriously support you in your quest for truth, in your quest for goodness, in your quest for love of country, because you haven't made it there yet.
She's so vacuous. I wonder what Sarah's dad has to say.
Mika can go pound sand somewhere as far as I'm concerned.
You know, you don't piss off the Huck. And he really is our nation's Shakespeare. Speaking of Sarah, here's April Ryan challenging her over Trump's tweet. You have to watch April's face in this.
April?
Gillibrand owed an apology for the misunderstanding of the president's tweet this morning because many, including Senator, thinks that it's about sexual innuendos.
I think only if your mind is in the gutter would you have read it that way. And so no.
See, that's the malfunction of confirmation bias. If you already think that Trump's a pig, any deviation will not compute, so you make that face. It's actually pretty amazing what a Trump presidency does to people. Even when there's good news, they still lose their minds.
Please don't do this. It really annoys me. You know, I really don't interrupt you, and you do this completely. I'm so through with your mansplaining, and you're smirking and you're laughing. I'm not in the mood for this today.
Make a point.
Oh, happy day. I've made my point.
Okay, good.
Well, this is my point.
Hold on,
happy day.
let her finish.
Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Get over it.
I thought I was the only one who does TV drunk. And as terror struck in New York, CNN was busy checking how many cans of Diet Coke they can fit on a desk.
12 Diet Cokes, right? If we're saying, according to the Times, that he drinks this many, what does this do to the brain and the body every day?
So now we're soda shaming. Stay tuned for part 2 when they see how many victims of fake news they can fit into a telecast. That was a nice comment, no applause. Anyway, I don't want it anymore. I don't want your pity clapping. But so what if Donald Trump drinks 12 cans of Diet Coke a day? The people mocking him probably binge watch Grey's Anatomy, which is far worse for your health. 12 cans, it's an achievement. It's a carbonated version of a marathon. And he does it daily. Diet Coke is the nectar of the gods. I don't just drink it, I feed it to my parakeet. Love it. But not my lizard. My lizard prefers Sprite. But as the media chases Diet Coke, Trump went to work. He's inching closer to a decent tax deal, and luckily he got rid of the albatross that is Roy Moore. And so what if we've got Doug Jones? He won't last. A lefty in Alabama is like a slice of pie on Michael Moore's lap. It disappears or somewhere it gets lost. And the president has already moved on.
The directive I'm signing today will refocus America's space program on human exploration and discovery. It marks an important step in returning American astronauts to the moon for the first time since 1972 for long-term exploration and use.
Yes, we're heading to space. It reminds me of a movie.
In a world of Earth and gravity and bottomless brunch, one man wasn't satisfied and dared to dream big.
We're dreaming big.
This Christmas, or Hanukkah or other non-Judeo-Christian holiday you celebrate, dust off your space boots, cowboy. We're going to the moon. For real this time, not faked on a soundstage. And Mars.
We will establish a foundation for an eventual mission to Mars.
Though we're not really sure when, but we're definitely going. Probably. From the producers of Executive Action Parts 1 through 9, honestly, we lost count. Donald Trump, Mike Pence, and Sam Elliott as Astronaut Elliott Sam. Executive Directive, return to the moon for the first time at last.
Yeah.